I think the girls with their nails done
Oh my god, Sashi!
the girls with their nails done.
Debating on peeking, and in fact he's going to find the stall right away. Finds Kiku as well, and finds Lipa. Beautifully done here from Lavelle has this covered. Lavelle with the double, possibly one more. Can he find them? He's going to find the triple. Saints Nation, welcome back to the Saints Gaming CA Twitch channel. So we're about to get started with yet another afternoon here of awesome esports collegiate action, this time for some collegiate Cold War in the Activision Blizzard League. My name's Dan Banner, and joining alongside me, Jackson Brown. Welcome back here for some Call of Duty. Excited? We have Florida State this time. Are you excited for this matchup?
Yeah, very excited for it. And you know what? I think it is going to be a good one. You know, the Saints COD team, they've been a little slow lately, not being able to win against these top tier teams like FSU. But overall, I think they will have a fairly good shot here in this one. They're coming off of a win in their last game. They played very well in it, and they're playing fairly well recently. And they looked good on Apocalypse, which we are seeing map 1 on Hardpoint. And, you know, I got to be pretty happy with how things are going. But overall, FSU, one of the best squads right now currently in, like, Collegiate COD. So overall, like, I think it's going to be a tough battle for them, but definitely one that they can take. A lot of maps that they are very comfortable on tonight and stuff like that. So, I mean, overall, it's going to be a fairly good series in my eyes. Very excited for it, and I'm really excited to see how things go. I really do think this map 1 is going to determine a lot of how the series swings.
Right, of course. And like quickly touching on the teams, of course, again here. And it's like Saints' past record here. Whenever they had to play or have to play a team that's within that top 25, because if we do recall, back in the early portions of the CCL season, of course, this is a different league, but this is where we're going to be able to get most of our results, most of our data. So we're going to be referencing it a few times throughout the night. But anytime the Saints were right on the verge of cracking that top 25, they would then go up against one of those teams already in the top 20, top 25, and they would lose. Some of them more convincing than others. They had some good fights versus a couple, but were just never able to clutch it up here. So being able to do that, granted, different league, but if their track record says that this should go to Florida. But I definitely want to see them fight back here.
I couldn't agree more with that one. You know, we are going to actually see the starting lineup tonight, as usual. You know, we have seen Corey's come in this lineup a few times here recently because whether it be, you did well, whether it be, you know, an internet issue, whether it be this, that, whatever it may be, right? Overall, he's been doing fairly well coming into this lineup for typically most of the time Lavelle being, you know, whether it be an internet issue, whether it be just mainly typically internet issues.
County internet.
But overall, yeah, for sure. But I mean, overall, yeah, we will see that starting lineup between Brandon, Sauce, Priestley, and Dawson should look fairly good tonight. And, you know, they guarantee you that they've been grinding a lot lately, scrimming, practicing, making sure that they are ready for, you know, the end of the CCL, I think we're about mid-season Acti Blizzard now. So overall, like, you know, they're coming around to the end of the season. You know, the semester for Collegiate's already nearly kind of over, coming up here shortly. So, I mean, overall, we don't have a whole lot of time left, and they're really grinding, getting into their positions. They're really looking to seem a bit more comfortable with themselves, working with each other on the game. And overall, they look phenomenal on Raid. Like, I have to give them props for how they play on Raid. And I'm fairly certain we actually will be seeing it through the series. Yes, we will. We're going to be seeing it map 2, 3, and 4. So no surprises there. Yeah. And then map 5, if it comes to it, we're going to be seeing Miami S&D. So, like, overall, like, they should look very, very comfortable so far throughout the series. We're coming off of an Apocalypse Hardpoint win. We've done very well on Raid. Those are the middle 3 maps. And if it goes to map 5, we play Miami S&D, which they are very familiar with as well. So, I mean, overall, the Saints should have fairly good, you know, chemistry, comfortability throughout this whole series. And I'm really excited to see if that will help swing things in their way.
Absolutely. Regardless of the result here tonight, it is not going to be based off of map selection here for St. Clair, because like you're saying, pretty much we're comfortable with Raid, comfortable with Miami, and then Apocalypse is just a wild card, but at least we get that out of the way quickly in game 1. But we'll have to see what ends up happening as we move on forward here. And we were talking about a little bit actually prior to the cast itself, but we were mentioning Apocalypse, and we were referring to the game that happened on Tuesday. But in regards to strategy, it felt kind of, I know Call of Duty's run and gun, but it felt very, not quick play, but like online ranked pug-esque, which, I mean, it's going to take some
Like a
time to
pug-
get the strategy down, but any sort of insight on Apocalypse?
Well, yeah, basically touching on the last time they played it, it looked like a very high skilled game still. Like, all these players, they do have top level gun skill. They do have all the abilities to be mechanically well driven and stuff like that. However, the big kicker there is that no team has really practiced a ton on this map. So the things that you are to look out for is rotations may not be on par compared to, Raid or Checkmate or something else that we do see in that hardpoint rotation. And, the rotations, like I was saying, that's going to be the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing in hardpoint in my eyes, to be more of a strategic team, right? And if they can really lock down those rotations, I really think it is going to look good for them here moving forward throughout this series. And like I was saying earlier in this kind of pregame show a little bit, is this map one, I think, is going to determine a lot of how this series gets played out. So we are going to kick things off here now. Florida State University versus St. Clair College, starting off on Apocalypse. I'd like to thank all you guys for tuning into the stream, and we are ready to stream some afternoon Call of Duty action. So get ready for this one. Lavelle going to be going down first. Brandon able to answer back. Sauce and Brandon getting shut down. Priestley finds one. A lot of early engagements here going down, but the hard point looks like it is going the way of FSU, but Priestley is already here, ready to flip spawns.
Ready to flip the spawns, however, he is in the eyesights here of Exile on the side of Florida State. He's going to get taken down, however. So, Saints maybe finding themselves a good couple of frags for this very moment. But that being said, though, this hard point, the points itself still going into the favor of FSU. And Brandon is going to be able to clean up Lep, and he's basically starting exactly how he did in the last games as well. Where we're seeing the Brandon that just seems to be popping off. He's going to take care of Exile as well. Hang on for the remainder of these points, get these last couple seconds worth. But we do see over on the other spawn point, Sauce already ready and waiting. Does end up going down, but Lavelle's here for backup.
These rotations are phenomenal from St. Clair. I was just talking about it a few minutes ago during that pregame on how rotations are going to be one of the biggest things to win this map right now, with these teams both being very evenly skilled gun skill-wise, but it really comes down to who can play it more strategically. St. Clair looking phenomenal so far. Like you said, Brandon picking up where he left off. All the guys on St. Clair doing very good slaying out right now. And if you look at the minimap in your bottom left corner, they are playing perfect positions. Yes, number 4 is in the back. That's Rosen. And he does find one there. But, I mean, overall, if you are the Saints, you got to be happy with how this thing starts off. You get a 25-point lead around here right away to start things off.
Ooh.
Rosen actually, wow, nice little two-piece there, taking out Priestley and Lavelle, but Sauce can be there to clean things up. But, I mean, overall, yeah, great stuff there on the rotations. Almost being able to clean that one up. But if you look at the mini-map now, St. Clair, I honestly wouldn't be fighting for this hill if I was them. You'd just be getting ready to play next hardpoint.
Yeah, it looks like that's what they're going to end up doing here. Just slam on the brakes for just a second. Next hard point is going to be down in the southwestern area. Brandon going to get taken down here by Lep. But we do see Sauce already ready and waiting. I think it's right under the building. We see going to flip right into the pocket of Saints. Dead even game to start off our evening of Call of Duty. Definitely what we like to see. Sauce going to take care of Lep nice and quick. And now Saints basically in full control.
Yeah, and I mean, like we were talking about the other day when we were casting Apocalypse, we're like, oh no, all these players are on top of the hard point and it's underneath. So good to see that they're all underneath there right away to begin things off. And I mean, that's a good break from FSU. They're doing a really good job of that. And I want to really point out that Lep and Rosen looking very, very good so far for the side of Florida State, looking absolutely phenomenal right now. Lavelle, he is going to get shot down, but Sauce with a nice little two-piece, and he cleans things up nicely. I mean, this is a fairly even game so far here, Danners. I mean, we should see about a tie after this hard point, and you will see the side of FSU kind of rotate after this now, these last final seconds. But I mean, overall, as long as St. Clair, they have the rotations for next, they have the spawns that they would like. Oh, St. Clair really looking to retake this lead, or at least make this a little bit more of an even matchup here going into the next hard point. Priestley, good job there finding one, helps out clean up the other, but Brandon ultimately will fall there for the trades. And I mean, right now the Saints, they have decent good control over it, but not the best.
Yeah, at least they're going to be able to set up and get in position. Lavelle was already ready and waiting for this hard point. And sure enough, as soon as people start going in, they are going to mow a couple of them over. But instead, it's going to be Harvard and Exile who go absolutely crazy, taking care of every Saints member that does happen to walk into the vicinity of that point. But then Priestley says hello, gets himself the double. Sauce going to find one as well. Lavelle going to take care of Priestley because I guess he's checking recoil or something. But he does eventually turn it on to Exile and Harvard. So I'll just type Worth in all chat every single time for that one. Getting the points, got the job done. May have been kind of funny, but he gets it nonetheless.
Yeah, for sure. So very, very even game here. Look at the score dinners, 95-95, right as we're about to head back to this final hard point on the rotation. And the Saints, they don't really look like they have too good positioning on it. Lavelle Sauce going to be the main player there. He's going to find one, but he's going to get cleaned up after. Now the Saints have little to no control. It's going to be all up to Brandon to apply this pressure on. Now, what will he be able to do? He's going to wait for his teammates a little bit. He comes down, but there is so many players in his eyesight. And just like that, that's going to be FSU's hard point. So St. Clair College, they're looking like they're in a little bit of a sticky position here now. But hopefully they can do a good job of retaking.
I mean, Lep just did a fantastic job of keeping everybody out for the longest time. Eventually goes down, but he's still not done just yet. Still just right on the outside of the point. There to contest, takes care of Brandon. Priestley on their side, but can he get the duel with him? No, Priestley's going to pick that one up. So finally, the reign of Lep has been extinguished, and we're going to be able to bring this up to tie if Priestley can hang on to this point just a little bit longer. That being said, though, contested. Harvard going to clean him up there, get himself the double, actually. Going to take care of Lavelle as well. So point going over into their favor, and actually right into the middle, unless Sauce has something to say about it. This might go right back into the pocket of Florida.
Oh, he spots Lep, and Lep is actually going to fall there. Good stuff, though, from Sauce. Good little cheeky angle, I would say. So, going to get that trophy down, but he will get cleaned up. Harvard been playing phenomenal here lately. But overall, I mean, Priestley going to be able to answer back and shut him down. Brandon going to be the man to watch in the hard point now. He finds himself one with a Semtex and one with a 7-4U. Good stuff there from Brandon. The trophy system going to work behind these blue barrels right now, making sure that no util is actually coming in on the site. Lavelle going to get a nice shot there onto Lep. And overall, Saints really taking back control over this game after they lost that last hard point. And they're doing a great job of holding down this middle hill. Harvard going to come through here and have something to say about that, though. Lavelle and Priestley answer right back and shut things down. This hill is still theirs.
Yep, going to hang on to it, get themselves at least a small little lead at this moment. And Saints, as soon as the fights start happening, all collapsing right back onto the point itself. Going to get the last little bit of scraps here, but now we do see all the way up in the top right-hand side. Going to be the charge led by Brandon, because the FSU squad already on the point, but Saints going to clean it up extremely quickly with Brandon and Priestley taking care of that. Left the last line of defense, but he's going to go down as well. Saints going to capture this with lots of time still left on it and a good hold.
Yeah, they did a great job of flipping those spawns. If you saw that middle mini-map there, I know we both saw it ourselves, but there was 4 Saints coming through the enemy lines to flip the spawns. Big stuff there from them. I mean, Lavelle, he's going to have to win a huge gunfight here, but Lep going to take him down. So overall, really going to screw the Saints a little bit out of that hill now. But I mean, overall, the Saints should have one more decent push before they go for these spawn rotations. But with 2 players falling there, I really do think that they are about to just kind of start to play for next. There's only 20 seconds remaining on the hill. This is typically when you see players kind of rotate. But one thing that is concerning, Rosen, he's in enemy lines. He's behind St. Clair territory and really cause a disruption in these plans. He does find one, and XL finds 2, so it's able to shut down Rosen. But I mean, overall, the Saints not doing a great job of holding this next hardpoint on rotations, and it's going to be Lep as the first player there.
Head-on collision here, and it's not going to go in the favor of the Saints in the slightest, as Priestley and Brandon both do end up falling. Sauce the only one here to contest, in fact, in control as of this moment, but Lep is right above him, right around the corner, and the cavalry has arrived. Lep's going to be able to move on forward, take care of Sauce, and now the Saints are on the outside looking in, as it's going to be Exile for at least a little bit, was able to just hold off the Saints basically by himself. Those long-distance spawns that the Saints are kind of stuck with in this scenario, really holding them back from getting back here, and Harvard just able to find the right proper position to just take them down. Lep going to find Brandon. He finds Priestley as well. Beautifully done here from FSU. Beautifully done here by Lep, and just basically him and one other taking care of the majority of that point, but solid job there from Lavelle to get himself the double to at least get the scraps here on this and keep it close.
The one thing I do want to touch on real quick is how evenly Florida State's playing, right? You see Excel, Harvard, and Rosen all hanging around that 17-18 frag mark. But then you see Lep, outstanding performance right now. He's leading the whole lobby above kills by at least 6 right now. And Lep, it's not like he's only getting kills, right? If you see that, he also has 50 seconds on the hard point. He's been playing for these spawns. He's been an all-around good job so far. So you got to give props to FSU for Lep's performance right now. St. Clair, they are able to retake this hill, and they are going to be able to get a little bit of time on that. But look at this. Lep with his pistol. He just shuts things down. Priestley going to find one and gets immediately traded out. St. Clair College going to have to do a tough job of retaking the site here, but overall, definitely possible. Brandon in a good little spot now. Is he going to find 3? He found 2 of them, but Rosen and Lep going to be there to answer back. I mean, overall, Saints just got to break in here for these last 20 seconds or just go play for these next. But I mean, overall, if you are from the side of FSU, you did hit that 215 point marker now. Going to make things a little bit more favored in your side now, and it's going to be all up to the Saints to try to play this rotation.
So close there for the Saints on that last point, as Lavelle did get a double to start things off, but unfortunately just could not keep it going. In the end, they're going to just get a couple scraps, but one more good hard point going over into the favor of Florida State will secure them the win here in game number 1, but Saints are going to be the first to make it there. 2 players on point ready to go. Of course, it's going to be Sauce and Brandon ready for the attack. Nicely done there from Priestley to cut off a rotating Harvard, but then it's going to be Rosen who finds the one. Huge kill from Lep actually onto Sauce. Does end up taking himself down, but at least evens things up for them. So now, all of a sudden, FSU has control, but there we go. Lavelle finding his way back onto the site, gets himself a frag or 2, and gets some more points here for the Saints. 10 away from bringing this tied.
This is a nail-biter if I've ever seen one, Tanners. Priestley doing a good job of finding a kill there. Brandon kind of hanging behind enemy lines here now. And like you were saying, just around 10 points away from tying this one up. And overall, if you're the Saints, though, you want to be very concerned about rotations, though. Like, yes, these final 5 seconds are going to help you get towards that final end goal of 250 points. However, the next hard point is really going to be the one where a team might actually win off of it. So here we go. We're going to see this one. FSU going to have the initial break on it. 226 to 223 on the clock. And oh my God, FSU just going to mow down the side of the Saints. Going to be all up now. But Sauce finds 2. Does a great job. Priestley, he will fall, but Lep going to find that one onto Sauce now. So overall, I mean, St. Clair College having a tough time breaking this middle hard point. FSU doing a great job of holding it down. And the one thing that is concerning is that FSU does have spawns for the next hard point as well.
The nade there was absolutely clutch. It gave the Saints the opening to actually get themselves on the point, but they have to touch it. Lavelle going to find Rosen. Good job getting out of dodge before that streak actually made contact. Good job there for the Saints. They can win off this point, but they need to hang on to it. There's nobody on the point. They're C9ing this one away unless there's another kill streak on the way. There was, in fact,
They have the control. I think they have the control of next hard point. They're fairly fighting for next. So I really think at this time, if you are the Saints, you can't win on it anymore. So they're really going to be fighting for this next hard point. And it looks like they don't have control of it.
Nope.
FSU all over it. Oh no, for the Saints. This one's coming down to the wire, Standers. 246. Brandon, he comes in, he fights 2. Will the other Saints be there? No, they are not. Florida State will take the win. 250-246. What a game, Danners.
Absolutely fantastic there. Literally just points away from that being a completely different story, but the Saints, of course, had to get themselves off the point early in that last section. I keep getting baited by the streaks. I'm saying to myself, why aren't they on the point? Why aren't they on the point? Well, it probably has to do with an airstrike coming in right on that point that I'm just not hearing about. So that's definitely, and if I'm maybe showing some of my greenness there in that regard, but still a very fantastic game number 1 here. If this is how things are going to be, we're in for an exciting series. However, we can slow things down now for a little search and destroy. This time on Raid, though, it seems like everybody's favorite map.
Yeah, for sure. So, going to be really excited to see how things go into that one. However, you know, Raid, they don't play it on Search and Destroy near as much as they do, you know, whether it be Control, whether it be Hardpoint, whatever it may be, right? It's just not as common of a map played for them. However, you know, they just look comfortable on the map in general. So I'd like to see them just continue to perform on the Search and Destroy. One of the big things I do want to see is Lavelle use that assault rifle to his liking, right? I mean, really find those long range angles, really use his skills that he has for himself to as an asset to St. Clair. Go for those long range gunfights, get some early picks. Priestley, he does a great job in Search and Destroy finding early kills and getting the first kind of engagement on the map. So for him to win those crucial engagements, I think that is really what could swing the things in way of Saints. very, very close map one. Like I said, 250, 246 on Apocalypse there. And overall, I mean, that just kind of shows how close of a series this is going to be. So really excited to see how Search and Destroy plays out here as we head to Raid.
A couple things, of course, to consider. Yes, that was an extremely close game. However, with Apocalypse basically being the wild card, the newest map in the entire pool, maybe even FSU may not be 100% like flushed out on strategy and rotations for a map like that. However, Raid in the pool, at least not since the beginning, but for a while anyway, they have way more time to have gotten like the proper rotations down, the proper strategy side of things down, especially for a game mode as strategic as Search and Destroy. I would be very nervous for the side of St. Clair to see like how clean this FSU squad will be, but at the same time, of course, like we were saying before, Saints extremely comfortable here, so we'll have to see. Could be another very close 6-5 or 6-4 kind of series. I'm not sure who I'm really favoring. Like obviously, like data and rankings wise, FSU is probably the favorite here in this situation again, but Saints can definitely pull it off. They were so close in game one. I want to see them do it again.
Yeah, for sure. But I will say completely by myself, like from what I've seen from the Saints, I will say that Search and Destroy is probably their weakest game mode. I'd have to say out of the three, right? Which is a little concerning here, considering that Florida State won map one. So if they do win this one, it's going to have to result in a Saints reverse sweep if they do want to, actually take this series. So going to be a very important map for them to try to tie up this series. And it's going to mean a lot moving forward in this series. Like, yes, we did talk about how, yes, St. Clair is comfortable on Raid, but like you were saying, like, Raid is comfortable for a lot of teams. However, FSU, being a top team, they're fairly comfortable on, I'd say, almost all the maps, except for maybe Apocalypse and Express being the new maps in. So overall, I mean, if you are St. Clair, you got to be ready to fight here. You got to be ready for FSU to still look just as strong as they did on that hard point. So overall, St. Clair really looking for a good fight here, and I'm really anticipating that, I would have to say Florida State as a favorite going into this one, just because of its Search and Destroy and because they are, statistically on paper, looking like a better statistically wise roster. However, the thing is the Saints, anything can happen in Search and Destroy, right? Anything can happen. And I'm going to have to say that I'm going to have to, this could go either way. I'm going to have to favor FSU a little bit, but like I said, it could go either way. And as we head to map 3 control, though, going to have to favor the Saints. Raid control, hands down, I think I have to favor the Saints. Like, they just look so solid on it. So if they even do drop the Search and Destroy, but they win that control, I really think it could pick up their momentum a little bit and maybe start to fire to, kind of go for a reverse sweep a little bit more,
And it was kind of funny now after seeing game number 1, because Sauce did give us a little bit of extra background information going into this matchup, and he kept saying that the hard carry for FSU was Rosin. Out of everybody that was getting all the kills for that last game, I feel like I said Rosin maybe twice. Everybody else was just stealing the show. So if that's what they thought, then they absolutely undervalued pretty much the entire squad here of FSU, which is definitely going to be scary, because especially as we hop into game here, Lep had an absolutely outstanding game number 1. And to be honest, Harvard did good. Exile was doing good as well. But as we hop into the action, Harvard going to get taken down nice and quick. Brandon, first blood.
Yeah, you don't. Or sorry, Sauce, you mean first blood. Oh, no, they actually have 2 kills there already. Oh, damn, I didn't even really pick up on that one. But, yeah, so the Saints already in a 4v2 player advantage against Exile and Lep. So, I wouldn't say anything is really safe while Lep is alive, but the Saints looking to go off for this first round. All left onto Lep here now. 1v4. And, if you're Lep here, I don't even know what your plan of attack is, right? Like, Saints are all over. He's going to run into Priestley here any second. Priestley spots him. Lep going to win that gunfight, though, and Lep is going to find that kill and fall off. So, good smart plays there from Lep, because he's going to be getting challenged from everywhere else. They all know where he is. So Brandon spots him up there towards mid, but Lavelle's just about to come on his side. Lavelle could find anything here in a second. Lep should get spotted from Lavelle and cleaned up. There it is. St. Clair Collegiate will take that first round. Good start there if you are the Saints.
Yeah, I don't care how good of a game 1 you had there. Going 4-on-1 is always going to be a struggle. And this is that opening kill there that we just barely kind of glazed past by, because Brandon did it so damn quickly. Right off the back, bringing it down to the 3-on-4. And then basically instantly turning into a 2-on-4 game. It was just all downhill from there for FSU. But of course, switching sides, Saints going to be back on the attacking side for the first time here in this game. Let's see what they can pull on out. Looks like B's on the menu.
Yeah, for sure. B is definitely on the menu. You will see Priestley just making sure he watches this angle. He will spot Rosen, and Rosen going to shut him down. Exile finds Lavelle in the process. Sauce, very weak. He does got that player type quite weak with his Semtex, so Lep is going to be the player to watch for it here as they try to target him out. But now everybody knows where these Saints are, right? Saints are going to have such a hard time winning this one. Brandon actually getting so tagged down, but Sauce will find one. Rosen comes out across, and FSU will clean things up. 1-1 game here, and that was a fairly quick round, Danners.
Nice and quick, taking down the 2 members from the Saints that were more towards the center, more towards that A side of things, and just made it so that everybody at one point or another could just start swarming the last 2 players of Sauce and Brandon. So just could not keep all angles covered. Going to clean them up nice and quick. Defensively on this map, both teams looking strong, but offense has a lot to be desired of as of right now.
Could not agree more with that one there, Danners. Offense, you know, you got it. I always say it, but as soon as I say it, it's the caster's curse, and we all know it. Defense has the favored side, so you know, I'm knocking on wood. You guys can hear it. I'm not gonna say anything. However, I mean, that's gonna be Harvard with an early kill there on to Priestley. 3v4, and the bomb is down. So overall, FSU setup now fairly good. Brandon able to get that trade out on the bomb planter. But overall, if you're FSU, everybody's just gonna back up to around their spawn so they can just watch B from a distance. Well, the Saints have to try to break it. Exile will find Brandon there early, and that's going to result now in a 3v2 in favor of FSU. St. Clair, only 25 seconds remaining on the clock. Sauce searches for Lep, but Lep going to find the best of them, all up to Lavelle. Lavelle has so much work to do, and honestly, I just don't see a world where he can win this one.
Yeah, Lavelle is an absolute fantastic strategic mind on the side of St. Clair, but one thing I would argue that he isn't is a top fragger. Going up against a 1-on-3, even if you were the top fragger, that's a difficult spot to be in, but not going to be the case here to clutch things up this time by. So 2-1 now for the side of Florida State.
You could put a professional player in that spot that, you know, like Lavelle was just in, and he's gonna have a hard time, right? Like, it does not matter the quality of player that you just put that person in a position in. So overall, but you will see Lavelle start a little late there. I mean, he could have been having a little bit of a discussion with their team, something about that, talking about some strats here moving forward for this offensive round, as last time it didn't really work out too well for them. So overall, let's see if the Saints try to change things up here a little bit and it works out well for them. Sauce, I mean, I think he's gonna hop through his window. This is very good positioning for Sauce. I mean, yes, Lep will find Priestley early, but overall, Sauce is behind enemy lines quite well, and he's just going to spend his time up there in that room. One thing that is concerning for me is that he does have the bomb. That is what's concerning for me. He's risky. Very far pushed up with the bomb, and now they spot him, so they know his location. If you're Sauce here, go run down, put that bomb down. But Rosen gonna find a long range one there. Everyone knows where Sauce is, and he's the last player alive. He's gonna get Rosen cleaned up, but look at this. He also has 3 more players to deal with, and they all know where he is. He's gonna get shut down from that little angle. That was a wall bang. I really hope this is the best play of the game.
Let's hope and let's see.
No, it's not.
This is gonna be the double. Or no, go ahead.
Yeah,
sorry.
I think it was gonna be a wall bang from across the map, which you don't see very often.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess you know the player is kind of stuck inside the building, so take a couple shots. They could only be so far away, and they're going to be able to take care of that one. Now, Saints, they need a bit of a spirit bomb here, and one player specifically going extremely cold to start off this second game is Priestley, which is extremely uncharacteristic. 0-4 to start off even a search and destroy. Like, definitely a little bit odd to say the least, but see if you can turn this around in these next upcoming games. Right now, FSU doing a good job of shutting him down. As soon as I hop off of Brandon, of course he's going to find himself a frag, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade as of this moment anyway. Bombed down by the B side of things, but bit of a stalemate. We do see it's going to be Rosin making his way forward to get that bomb. At least gets it back into his possession, can move it around as necessary. And Saints, of course, on the defensive side of things, just trying to wait it out. And Brandon might be in for a crossfire if he can find Exile.
Yeah, I mean, he's in good position too, but they throw out that little stun out there, and so they know Brandon is still there. So that's going to give, you know, FSU a good amount of insight. But overall, you see this full wrap to the A bomb site going to be all up to Priestley. The player who's 0-4. Can he get on the board here? He's going to fall off a little bit. Good stuff there from them. He sees 3 players coming towards him. He's going to get the intel to his teammates and falls off a little bit. He tags down some shots there. The Semtex goes out. That should be able to connect. And there's a kill from Priestley. Cleans up left. Lavelle finds one on a rose, and Priestley finds the last one. Priestley goes from 0-4 to 2-4 and has a huge impact on the Saints winning this round.
That's the kind of spirit bomb that I was kind of hoping for there for Priestley and the rest of the St. Clair squad. Able to clean it up very, very nicely. Good long-range shots there from Priestley, keeping himself nicely kind of tucked away around the wall here too. Very difficult to try and keep track of him. Finds Lep, and I think he finds another one nice and quick after this. Yes, he does in fact find Exile, so a big turner with less than like 10% of his health remaining after that. Good battle there for Priestley, gets the bomb defused as well. Really coming in clutch here in this round.
Cannot agree more with that one, Danner. So here we go, 3-2 game as we head into round number 6. And it is going to be your St. Clair Saints on the offensive side of things again. So I really do hope that they can get this bomb down and get a good defense setup going. And, you know, really just start to get a whole site kind of locked down. They're looking like they kind of struggle to get map control here so far throughout these offenses. So, I mean, so far, let's hope they can turn that around here a little bit. And the thing is, it's hard for them right now because if you look at the side of FSU, they have 2 players 4-3 and 1 player 5-2. Make that now 2 players with 5 kills. So overall, they're having a hard time because Florida State, they're just straight out fragging right now. It's going to be hard, you know, to go against any team in Search and Destroy when their gun skill is currently on point.
Absolutely, of course. No respawns means you have to make every single life count. I mean, if you're just going down quickly, losing some duels, then it just puts things into a very difficult position moving forward. But Brandon is at least going to tie this one up in regards to 3-on-3 and bombs getting planted. They could be in the position to flip the roles here, get themselves a good post-plant position. Can they do this?
Yeah, they're in a very good points plant position, in my opinion. Lavelle going to fall early, though. Sauce, no, now it's all falling apart as Brandon's the last player alive. He's top window, and he will find one there on the Harvard, but Lep is just there ready to shut things down. And Lep, he's picking up right where he left off in that hard point. You know, like you were saying, talking a little bit about a pregame, we might see Rosen's name a lot, but if you look at things, he's like kind of like the 3rd fragger right now for FSU. Like, it's not like he's definitely making an impact on the game, but it's not like he's really doing a whole lot compared to Lep. Like, Lep has just continued to pick up right where he left off and is really doing a very good job of, I wouldn't say putting FSU on his back, but really helping them carry them to some round wins.
When you can have somebody so consistently win their duels like this, it just puts so much extra pressure onto the opposition. And that time by, again, Lep finding himself too nice and quick. Just with the 7 kills so far in this game as well, just extremely difficult for the Saints to have to deal with. Priestley, we've seen, like, again, like, other than that one round, if it's him up against Lep, it does not seem to go into his favor, but we'll have to see. Still plenty of rounds left to go, possibly 2 more if Florida State University can win them both, but we'll have to see as we move on forward here. And Priestley, I don't know if he spotted all of them out towards that A site, but this could be a little bit awkward if they can just walk right onto the bomb site and plant this.
And Lavelle's already down, so, I mean, they're in a 4v3. At least Brand's there to even up numbers a little bit. They do get some more tags there, so they know that this bomb is most likely going down. Now they know for sure. And, you know, you'd have Priestley kind of caught in the middle of these 2 players. Rosen, he wins a big gunfight there. Harvard finds Brand, leaves everything up to Priestley in a 1v2, and he is kind of pinched. So he's going to have a real difficult time. Priestley will get shut down. 5-2 here now for Florida State. It's going to need to see, like, kind of like a big comeback come out from the Saints if you do kind of expect them to kind of turn things around here a little bit. And like I was talking about earlier, it's quite concerning if the Saints do fall here now, you know, like, they're going to be down 2-0 and they're going to be guaranteed to see a search and destroy if they go for the reverse sweep. So overall, I mean, I'm quite worried for the Saints here if they don't kind of clutch up here in these next few rounds.
They definitely need to try and turn this one around. Otherwise, that absolutely is possibly going to be trouble for them moving forward, even if they do end up taking control, like you were saying. Because right now, FSU just looking extremely dominant as of this moment here. But that's a good way to start things off on the reverse, as Harvard is going to go down. Priestley going to take him down there.
Yeah, I really do think that St. Clair should be playing this a bomb site more than they do. I find that it's a very good setup once you get that bomb down. And, like, look at how good, like, how many, like, I'd say about 4 to 5 times, you see the teams who plant the bomb on B and have, like, the same amount of numbers. They typically do a fairly good job. So now St. Clair already in a 4v2. Left going to answer back and clean up Sauce, but Brandon's right there for a trade. Now a 3v1, all stuck on Exile. And I even said this earlier, even if you have a pro player in this position right now, he's going to have such a hard time. So St. Clair College will clean that one up. 5-3 here now. Great offensive round from St. Clair. Now, can they hold things on the defense?
I'll have to see. It's unusual to see an attack go so smoothly on any side, let alone for the side of St. Clair. They've managed to pull that one off quite nicely, however, and just one extra step into trying to make this comeback. Let's see, though. FSU has been pretty solid across the board. Of course, one more round victory away before we end up going to game number 3. So we'll have to see. Now or never for St. Clair. They tend to do pretty decently when they're kind of got a firelight under their butt. We'll have to see how this ends up going.
Yeah, couldn't agree more with that one there, Danners. Brandon opens things up nicely, shutting down Harvard. So 4v3, it's so weird to say Harvard because I feel like I'm talking about the school Harvard at that point. But I mean, overall, yeah, so 4v3 now for the Saints. And they're in fairly good positioning. They kind of put a halt to Florida State's plans, really kind of stopped them in their tracks. And this puts the Saints in fairly good positioning because, like, there's not a whole lot of map control made up because Brandon can kind of be covering the site. And he's going to find another kill there in result on Rosen. So now it leaves everything up to Exile and Left. However, those are the 2 top fraggers for the side of FSU. So if you are the Saints, you got to be still kind of cautious because they can really do anything just like that. Left going to shut down Brandon in that midpoint position. Priestley, thank goodness he is there for a trade now. Leaves everything up to XL, but XL will find one on a Priestley. 1v1 here now. And this is definitely possible because XL finds Lavelle. And, you know, this is really how things turn around. XL does have that bomb. He's going to plant it on. Oh, he's going to. No, he has time. No, okay.
He honestly, hindsight, he should probably go for it. But actually, the bit of a fake, maybe. I think he's got it.
Oh, my God. Sauce is rotating. Oh, my God.
This is such a rough spot to be in.
This is nuts. Oh my God, he gets tagged. XL's tagged weak, but XL knows exactly where Sauce is now, so XL just has to run away and play his life. Sauce knows where he is. He gets him weak again. Oh my God, so much intel for Sauce. XL gonna wrap around. He spots Sauce now. XL, he is weak. Sauce is up there in the PowerPoint position. However, Sauce gonna run into him. XL pulls out the pistol and he cleans it up. Oh my God. Priestley left. He's done. He's mad. That is not good if you are the Saints. I really thought they had a good shot of that one there, but XL... He was that a 1v3?
That was a 1v3 that he clutched it up by himself.
Oh no.
So we